Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone, of course, for joining into the show. Here we are. We're on the 6th day of May. Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. Did you have your nachos? Yeah, did you? I mean, it was Cinco de Mayo. Well, if you had a margarita. Okay, well, if you had something, that's all really that's what matters. You had to celebrate. Oh, yeah, some people say it's Revenge of the 5th. Yes, May 4th, Star Wars Days, bunch of nerds. Okay, it is, once again, it is the 6th day of June here in the year 2023, 9:25 in the morning here on the East Coast, here in beautiful Richmond, Virginia. A little chilly this morning. About 40 something degrees. Kind of chilly for May, don't you think? Well, I'm not complaining. No, absolutely. No, listen, I'd rather it be cooler because I don't want my pink felt puppet skin to melt. Don't want that to happen. Anyway, shout out to the people in the chat. I see all of you down there. Once again, thank you guys. Oh, if you want to be a part of the conversation, somebody says, I got my coffee in my cereal bowl. Shout out to Roundhead. But yes, if you want to be a part of the conversation and maybe get shouted out, follow me at Sam Newsman. That's right, Sam Newsman. And where's that? That's all over social media. We try to keep it simple. I mean, because you don't want to have this name over here and that name over there. You want to keep it simple. At Sam Newsman. No, it's not Sam the Newsman. I always get upset when people say that. You know why? It's because I want to ask you, is your middle name the? And it's not, right? I mean, but if it was, I mean, that's okay. But my middle name is not the. So it's not Sam the Newsman. No, it's just Sam Newsman. It just happens to be that Newsman is my last name. Kind of poetic, isn't it? Well, when you've been here for about 122 years, just celebrated my 122nd birthday on April the 1st. I've been reporting since Roswell. 47. Yeah, I was 47 when I got that gig. Oh, well, listen, and then I had to sign a bunch of NDAs. And it took a little while, but now I'm back here on Saturday morning. But how you follow me and watch me, if you want to watch me and see me and see this beautiful puppet voice and where it's coming from, at Sam Newsman all over social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. We're about to go past 1,200 followers on Instagram. You know, that came pretty quick. Had a video the other day that had 15,000 views. Yeah, sometimes when you have those videos and they hit, next thing you know, you get about 30, 40, 50 subscribers, just like that. Yeah, 15,000 views, 15,000 plus. Had one of them that's about to reach 5,000. Hey, listen, I'm on a roll. And what I do is I post reels every day at Sam Newsman all over social media. You can see those. You can comment, be a part of the conversations anywhere on social media that you like. But that's at Sam Newsman. You know what? Davey was saying nice kicks. Nice kicks. Yes, thank you. Shout out to Davey. Davey was actually first in the chat. Always try to shout out who is first. It goes back to the old internet. Remember the old internet? When you pull up an article and you scroll down and no one would comment it yet, and all you would just sit there and say was first. That's all you would do. It was basically like the original troll. No, it was. So anyways, if you do get here in any of the chats first, I see Cato's over here in YouTube. So he says, happy Saturday, but he's first. He's first over here. Like I said, so we're live streaming on Instagram at Sam Newsman, but we're also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter all at the same time. Setting the standard, raising the bar. That's right. I'm on 5 different streams all at once. And you say, well, Sam, how could you just keep going? Well, I'll tell you how I'm going to keep going. Because I'm also on broadcast radio. That's how. Yes, we're broadcasting live on radio. So if you were driving around in your car here in Richmond, Virginia, and you turned on the radio, you would then hear my beautiful puppet voice coming out of the FM dial, 90.1 FM. Yes, you would hear that, but then you say, well, Sam, I'm not in Richmond, so what do I do? Well, I'll tell you what you do is that you go and download the Live 365 app. So it's on Android and Apple, and so yeah, it says the Live 365 app. Download the Live 365 app. Search WDCE. You have to search WDCE on the Live 365 app, and that way you will be able to hear the theme songs that will be playing in between the breaks. So I come here and I do my thing here on social media, and we're also, like I said, broadcasting. But they're breaks, and what are the breaks? Well, the breaks consist of Saturday morning cartoons. Just a few moments ago, we played a couple of them. Always submitted here in this first segment by Deep Cut Dave. Deep Cut Dave always does a great job of just reaching out and saying, hey, listen, can you play these for the first set? Because then Deep Cut Dave is going to give us a call. He'll give us a call probably in about 90 seconds. Deep Cut Dave will be calling in. We'll be talking about Backlash Wrestling. That is tonight, wrestling. But in terms of what we just played, Pink Panther and Sons, never heard of that. Got to ask Dave about that one. The Wuzzles. Lupin the Third, it was, I think, the fourth version of that. The British Bulldog theme. Yeah, so originally he submitted to me and said, hey, would you play the Heart Foundation? But then I realized today is the King's coronation. Right. Yeah. Hey, listen, nothing makes me happier than celebrating the coronation of another tyrant. Right? Because that's what they were. You know what? I heard somebody said the other day, a wise man once said, I'm a fan of the original Brexit. I say, well, what was that? 1776. Right. Yeah. So that was the original Brexit. I'm a fan of that one. But I do know some people that are over there watching the coronation. So, which is cool. Hey, listen, if I had the funds and I was just like, hey, what do you want to do? I'm just going to go watch a king get crowned. That really doesn't matter. Because they lost all their power when their mom died. Whoa, I'm not allowed to say that. Listen, I can listen. I didn't say anything derogatory. I'm just telling you that I was a fan of the original Brexit. I mean, that's how we were. That's where we are today, right? So, oh yes. Oh, wait a minute. The phone is calling. You know what? I think this is probably Dave. Hang on. Let me see if this is Dave. Let me see here. Dave, are you there? Hold on. Wait a minute. All right, Dave, let me see if I can get this right. Okay, Dave, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, good morning to you, sir. Listen, you did send me over the Heart Foundation, but I decided to play the British Bulldog instead. Are you upset with that?
I would have preferred Roddy Piper's theme, but okay.
Oh, I see that. Well, you know what? I'll do that. I'll do that the next go round for sure. But what I was thinking though. I was thinking, well, it's the same damn family, the Hart family and that whole connected family. So that's where my mind was going. So I was like, oh, why don't I just play the British Bulldog thing? But we was playing a couple of different themes here. And glad that you are having a great Saturday morning. But one of the ones that really caught me off guard. Now, I'm familiar with the Wuzzles, and it was the Lupin, the fourth theme of the Lupin, I believe is what you sent. And but this Pink Panther and Sons, that was very interesting. I see Friz Freeling as a creative producer on this. Could you talk about Pink Panther and Sons and what's that all about before we get into the Backlash predictions?
Well, sure. Well, that started in 1984 on NBC, 26 episodes. Funny enough, it moved to ABC for its last season.
How many seasons was it on?
I believe 2.
Okay. And it caught my attention. It had this really nice groove to it, like kind of as far as the theme song. I feel like that I've heard something that grooved like that in the past. But what year was this actually produced? Do you have that off the top of the head? 1984, and it ran for 2 seasons. Oh, now I see Friz Freeling, and I recognize that name.
Yeah, a long time Looney Tunes guy. He did the original Pink Panther shorts back in the 60s.
Ah, okay. So he actually came and did this show as well.
Yeah, well, like I say, it was part of that thing back in the mid '80s. It's like, oh, everyone has to have like a younger version.
Ah, I see. Well, like I said, it sounded really great, and that was the one out of all of them that I really enjoyed. Could you go over real quickly, just right before I'm pulling up the matches right now, but could you talk a little bit about the Wuzzles and what the Wuzzles were?
Well, the Wuzzles, well, it aired 1985, originally on CBS. 13 episodes. Best as I can tell, they ended it because one of the main voice actors, Bill Scott, unfortunately died during the first season.
Oh well, that's not. Oh, that's terrible. That's sad.
But yeah, the Wuzzles, that was an attempt. I mean, that was like a full media. I mean, they had a cartoon, they had a toy line. I mean, more like plush dolls, but still toys.
No, absolutely. So they did have a figure line, a toy line, with it. And what? Sorry, could you repeat once again what year did the Wuzzles come out?
1985.
1985. So Pink Panther 1984, Wuzzles 1985, and yeah. So those were two great. Now you did bring up Mega Man, Cutman. I'm a big fan of Mega Man. Mega Man 1. That's the real one. That's the really hard one. 3 lives and you're out. None of that password garbage. Do you have any Mega Man 1 memories? Is that one of the reasons why you threw out Cutman?
Well, no, I figured better start at the beginning. I mean, I played Mega Man 2 first, so.
Ah, okay. Well, I was like you said, I always tell people that I beat Dr. Wily before I ever saved the damn princess, I mean, no, I mean, what's more important? I got to beat the robot master overlord. Yeah, forget her. I don't care what she's doing. Hey, you know what? Every time I went to one castle, she was in another one anyway. So it just kept drag. Always in another castle. Ridiculous. Okay, so Professor Deep Cut Dave, also a wrestling savant. I believe, the matches for Backlash here in front of me. Now, could you just tell the audience real quick what is Backlash and what's going on tonight in wrestling?
Well, honestly, I've always found Backlash to be sort of a lesser tier pay-per-view. It usually goes like right after WrestleMania.
And so one of these things is there's storylines, and these storylines lead into usually they happen on the day after WrestleMania, that Monday Night Raw. They start building up for this particular pay-per-view to kind of give it a little bit of some legs, I guess, if you will. And one of the things is that I believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. Do you have any more than that in front of you?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't think it was a too big of a card. 6 matches seems adequate. But we start off with Seth Rollins and Omos. Is that how you say it? Omos? Omos?
Yeah.
Omos. So Seth Rollins versus Omos. What's going on here, and who's going to win?
Well, I think I'm going to go with Omos. I can see they may be trying to go with a David versus Goliath situation, but they sort of have that with Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, and I don't see him having 2 matches with a similar setup but having the same ending. I don't see that.
Okay, so depending on who wins this match will determine whether or not who wins the other match at the end of the night.
I think so. So I think Omos needs to win more.
Right, correct.
They pretty much stuck him as like the bodyguard, secondary character. He really needs to win more.
Right. Okay, so we got Omos, the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Evo Sky. Is that how you said Evo? EO?
Yeah.
EO Sky? EO Sky?
Well, the problem is, didn't Miss Belair, didn't she get transferred to SmackDown?
Yeah, well, I'm not really sure how that's all going to work out. So is that going to play in tonight's match? Do you think that Sky's going to win?
Well, I mean, by doing that, didn't they just say, okay, well, unless they're renaming the title,
wow,
so you're taking the Raw title to SmackDown?
No, that's true. That's true. All right, so are you calling Sky tonight? I guess because of this snafu.
I guess so.
Okay. All right. So we got Sky for that one. Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. and Solo Sikoa. This is the Bloodline versus the Canadian duo and Matt Riddle. Mr. Barefoot, Jungle Boy himself. Well, not Jungle Boy, but you know what I mean. Like he looks like he looks like he's jumping out of a jungle. But anyways, yes.
Well, I'm going to go with, since the titles aren't on the line, I'm going to go for Bloodline. I'm going to go with the Bloodline.
So the Bloodline's going to take this. It's going to keep them, I would say, in the conversation. You don't want to keep squashing the Bloodline because then they would no longer have any.
Right. I mean.
Right. So.
Like I said, it's a non-title, so nothing. That's not at stake. So.
Right. The next match we have SmackDown Women's Championship: Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega. Who do you have for that one?
I gotta go with my gal Ripley.
Yeah, Ripley's going to take that. I'm pretty much sure. I'm going to agree with you on that. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in a San Juan street fight. This is very interesting. The other day they tried to. It's funny how you see. Well, AEW started it with the whole post press conference thing, and then which is silly, and then all of a sudden WWE does it. But now WWE did a pre-fight press conference between Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. It was really funny. But hey, you know what? It's wrestling. Just suspend disbelief. It's great. Live action.
Really just relax.
Yes. Live action theater in the round. So I'm sitting there, I'm giggling watching this pre-press conference. But Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. You have to say Bad Bunny's going to win because isn't it in Puerto Rico? It's the first time they've been there in like 20-something years.
First time they've been in Puerto Rico in quite a few years.
Right. So who do you think's going to win?
Local guy. Yeah.
Grammy award-winning artist. Yes, Grammy award-winning artist. Won the Grammy. So.
Right. So I'm going to go with Bad Bunny on this one. I don't see them. I don't see a celebrity losing in his hometown. I don't see him doing that.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you on that. Okay, and now closing the last match of the evening. Now, we already have kind of previewed this because we were talking about Seth Rollins and Omos a few moments ago. So depending on how that match actually ends, I guess we'll determine whether or not how this match will, transpire, if you will. So here we have Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. And so what do you think it'll be?
Well, Cody desperately needs a win.
No, absolutely. He does. After coming off WrestleMania, he definitely needs this win.
Yeah, so that's probably why he's going to lose and lose badly.
Oh, so oh man. So Deep Cut Dave coming in with the hot take. So right out of the gate, Brock Lesnar is going to is he going to squash him? Is it going to be one of those 30-second squashes? Is it going to be that? Is it going to be that kind of Brock Lesnar match?
Yeah, Brock. It's just I'm amazed. It's like he shows up to work like what 4 times a year.
Right. No, absolutely. You're correct.
I can't even be mad at that. That's living the dream.
that is, including being married to Sable. But yeah, so I listen. I completely agree. I think but I'm not sure. I'm agreeing with you that Cody needs to win the match, but I think that you might be right. Brock Lesnar is a squash. I don't know if it's a squash fest, but I think Goliath might win this one. Specifically, if Omos wins, Cody Rhodes wins. If Seth Rollins wins, Brock Lesnar wins. Is that kind of what we're going with? Is that the final? Okay. Well, all right. So those are the predictions from Professor Deep Cut Dave. And so we will be watching tonight. I'm sure my producer will be texting you a couple of times throughout the evening. And there will be a watch party that we'll be doing. What's going on? What's up?
Just want to add, our long national nightmare is over. James Gordon is no longer on the Late Late Show.
Oh, you know what? As far as the late shows and any of those late shows, all of our dreams and wishes in life have been answered because of the Hollywood strike. So it's interesting when you think about these people who are political pundits, even political shows such as Bill Maher, whatever John Oliver, and these people that are pretty high political commentators. It's just funny. It's like, well, if you're so damn great, then why are you canceling your show again? Oh, that's right, because you guys have no talent and you're just using a bunch of writers. So I listen, all of our dreams have been answers, not just Gordon, but all of them. I don't have to see any late night comedy people for a while. Probably sitcoms are going to be stopped. And my question is it a conspiracy or is it something else?
Studios are cheap.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. They are cheap. They are cheap.
These guys a 3% raise. I mean, come on, guys.
Yep, and these people have never even had a real job. So come on, guys. Well, if you're upset about your strike now, go get a real job. I'm sure people are hiring.
It kills me. I mean, if someone broke down David Zelensky's, the WB guy is like, oh yeah, well they'll return because they like work. It's like, dude, you could pay like 100. You could pay like 100 plus writers 10 years on what they pay you.
Well, but here's the interesting thing though. What they don't really want to talk about, and one of the things that the Writers Guild is in talks right now, is whether or not Chat GPT is probably going to take their jobs. Hell, they'll probably write better than them anyway. So, anyways, Deep Cut Dave, Professor Deep Cut Dave, coming in with the Backlash predictions. Thank you so much. Oh, you got. Well, no, listen, we're going to get to, we'll talk, send me some of those back again, and we'll play them back again next week. So that way we can go over them next week on the first part of this block, because like I said, we had some difficulties last week. Things were kind of going awry. But yeah, send me some of them, not all of them, but a couple of the ones that we did last week. We'll talk about those next week. And until then, we're going to keep this prediction list that I have that you just given me, and we'll see what happens tonight at Backlash. All right, Dave.
I got opinions on Mutant League, man.
Well, listen, we'll play it. We'll play Mutant League. We'll play it again. We'll play it again next week. So make sure you email me, let me know. We'll play it again and we'll talk about it, because it's definitely something that we do need to discuss. But until then, Deep Cut Dave, Professor Deep Cut Dave, always a pleasure to have you on the show. And Dave, we will talk to you next weekend.
Okay, I'll see you later, man.
Yes, sir. That's Professor Deep Cut Dave. They're just bringing in the hot takes. Yeah, he did send me a couple of songs last weekend, but last weekend was just so zoom, go, go, go that I didn't have a chance. The phone lines were being a little wonky, and we just weren't able to get to what we needed to get to. But what you need to get to is the Live 365 app. I'm about to play a few cartoon themes, and if you want to hear them, one of the things that you need to do is you need to download the Live 365 app. When you download the Live 365 app, search WDCE, and you will be able to listen to the cartoon themes as we are playing them on the radio. I can't play them when I'm here live on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. Can't play them there. They get flagged and they say, oh, you can't post anything anymore. So we can't do that. But download the Live 365 app. You'll be able to hear the cartoon themes that we'll play here. We'll be back on at the top of next hour. I sent some emails to a buddy of mine. He's quite an ace. He is quite an ace. And I sent him these. I sent him this, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he gives me a response. Yes, yeah, like a little message in a bottle, secret code, if you will. So, and we will, like I said, we'll be opening up the phone lines, probably, if not in the next segment, maybe the segment after that. I'm not sure. We'll see. So, but keep that in mind. And like I said, we'll be back here on the other side of this break. It is 9:47 here on the 6th day of May in the year 2023. And you are listening to the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet. Once again, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM at Sam Newsman all over social media. And of course, we'll be right back after this music break. from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.